the nude. You know they're buddies here. Both got their headphones in. Nice pat on the shoulder. So, and switching up the hats here.
A little
Going
bit.
with blue hat.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, wizard powers, you know?
The hat aesthetic, I think, is very important to starting that early dominance. Personally, I'm more of a blue hat Pikachu man than the red hat. You know, I know some people are very tan-centric. Not really my flavor of the day.
Like red, you know, definitely trip to Mexico, bit of a sunburn.
A little bit. Should have used that SPF 30. Ooh.
And great start here from Kort.
Yeah, maybe Kero should have used a bit of a higher angle on the recovery option there. Not able to get back onto the ledge as he had predicted.
Possibly going for something a little too specific, you know, dodging the up tilt from Kort and snapping ledge. Getting neither of those. And this generally is a matchup you don't want a huge deficit in. Pikachu is a comeback character against certain characters, but there's really not many quick ways to get Pikachu with Pikachu. Not having a spike, so to speak, like with the likes that, you know, Falcon might have or Kirby. And Kort just maintaining center stage. Kero stealing it right back. But, you know, maybe a little opting for that side plat instead. And great jab grab, just covering the shield option from that tech in place.
Very good, because I was going to comment that it feels like, especially observing the first half of the game, Kort did just such a good job of having a vice grip on stage control more than anything else. And good on Kero using that back throw just to get a little bit of ground, but Kort right back at it with that quick aerial.
Yeah, and I love how fluid the movement is from these two. Using their shield a lot to opt for those shield drops, and right there just dropping into ledge, stealing an option. Somehow missing that jab grab. Still picks it up though. Kort maintaining his lead. Kero just taking a moment here, possibly just thinking of how he can open up Kort.
Oh, dash attack. A little unorthodox, perhaps a flub?
I think it was kind of coverage. He missed that pivot up tilt, saw the tech roll in, and realized that, you know, dash attack is probably the quickest way to cover that tech roll. But you are right. You don't get the most out of it, but we're seeing it enough times where I think it's not an accident.
Anything you can do, I can do better, perhaps?
And Kero, knocked off stage here. Oh, and great read from Kort. Just, you know, a lot of times he kind of feint, you know, the covering the low angle. But Kort just knows that he can probably get away with it just holding there.
Oh, that max range recovery.
And I like what we saw from Kort there. Knowing that being in the air like that, he can't continue the combo and just up B's out of the pressure that, so that Kero can't just continue or, you know, do a counter combo, so to speak.
Kort now.
Great roll there.
I think just a few openings away from securing this game, and this could be it. Very clean edge play from Kort.
Yeah.
And he's going to be taking game number 1.
And Kort knows that you can kind of hang an aerial over Pikachu's up B if you get it as it's ending, or as it's about to launch. And he was able just to, you know, react to the stage DI and get a back air right out of it. Kero, you know, opting to drink a little more caffeine. Might need a little kick before game 2.
Yeah, I think you can tell in Kort's knees that he's definitely had his double espresso. He's ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
He's jazzed.
Got to get your coffee before that morning top 8.
See, I'm more of a tea guy.
Okay.
Personally.
It does the job.
It does the job pretty well.
Ooh, and we see a switch from Kero. He has been working his Falcon up this past year quite a bit. It used to be, I would say, a friendlies character for him. But we saw him use Falcon against Alvin at Genesis this year, and I believe he did take a game out of off of him in the 2 sets that they played.
I mean, let's not even forget the lineage here, right? At the same time, Kero's brother Stranded.
Yes.
You know, it's definitely one of the most technical Falcons, I think, to pick up the sticks.
I would say the most technical in the world. The man broke a steel stick. How do you do that? But Kero His tech skill maybe not quite as good, but still just so slick.
And this is when you know that both characters have a touch of depth. We're seeing just that calm, patient play. Kort having enough to make a recovery, and Kero saying, you know, I know if I just hold the ledge here, I'll have time to react to whatever options you choose.
Yeah, and Kort here just pushing Kero off stage. Going to be a simple ledge grab. That'll do it.
Just like that. I think this is one of the most volatile matchups in the game, to say the least.
Especially, you know, when the players are around the same skill level like this. It's hard to really figure out how to do it exactly right. I've seen it done plenty ways. I think Kort could have continued the combo, but just putting himself in a perfect position to continue the pressure, getting the stock here.
And it's tricky because Kero perhaps selected the Falcon because of Kort's consistent, solid approaches with the down air, or short hop down air. And so Kero was thinking, if I have a little bit more mobility, maybe I can get around it more consistently and have some good punishes. What he sacrifices as a result, though, is his ability to recover off stage, and Kort has done a beautiful job punishing, with the exception here, of course.
Yes.
Not really sure what he was going for. Had to have been a missed input, perhaps, there on his side. That's going to be giving Kero an advantage.
Yeah, and Kero's mixing up his approaches in neutral. I think he's floating out Nair a little too much. Its hitbox shrinks just about right after it's used. So if you don't hit it right away... Oh, no jump here.
You know, it was good DI to try to plink off of the stage.
Yeah.
But
not
still,
enough.
Kort's so good with the follow-ups. I mean, again, the edge guard game from Kort so far has been really, really stellar to watch.
Yeah, and Kort, you know, he's played a lot of people with great DI. He just seems to always be ready to know where they're going to go next. And we also see Kero, you know, using those taunt cancels a little bit to help his movement out. Ooh.
I think this could be it right here, Andykins, especially with the missed up smash.
And 2-3 stocks in away from Kort. Personally, I thought this was going to go in Kero's favor, but perhaps just having trouble again with Pikachus from, you know, south of North America, so to speak. Typically having trouble against Dexter and Mariwas. I haven't seen him play Kort in bracket before, but, you know, Kort having similar styles to them, giving him a really hard time here.
Those players beyond the border, they're something else.
Oh, yeah.
They really are something else.
A little bit closer to home to you guys than me. Up
a little
in Michigan.
bit, I'd say. A little bit. But you have you know, phenomenal players beyond the border near you as well. Just,
yes, we do.
You know, a little north.
King of the North, as they
the
say.
Kings of the North.
Yeah. And Kero opting to go back to Pikachu. I think this is the right option for him.
You know, we're yet to see a set that's gone past 3 games.
Yeah.
So empirically, things are not looking good.
No.
If you're a Kero fan.
Not at all. But Kero's known for his comebacks, though. I believe at Genesis 5, he was down 2-0 against Tacos, ended up bringing the set back. So just a player with such a great mentality, very good clutch factor as well.
Absolutely. I think when it comes to most things, especially in regards to television and movies, not the sharpest crayon in the book. But when it comes to Smash 64, I think that Kero is definitely one of the sharpest minds to pick up the stick. So there's a chance he's just been downloading data. It's a question of whether or not Kort can adapt quick enough to combat some of the changes that Kero will be making to the programming.
Oh, and there's that pivot up tilt. Kort's CI good enough to get away. Kero reading the tech in there, knowing that he'll maintain center stage either way, gets the stock. Beautifully done by Kero. That whole sequence. Oh, and we got some training mode combos now.
Yeah, very. Still clean.
Yeah, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing here, where if the player doesn't quite finish the combo, instead of trying to overextend, they just run away to maintain their stage position.
Up tilt, back air.
Awesome.
Not quite a stock yet.
Still like a good position here.
Ooh, wow, Kero that time opting for a very sneaky ledge option there. You know, typically whenever I see the Pikachu go up first, they're going to be trying to go for an on-stage recovery option.
And, you know, opting for a little more. I thought we would just see a back air there. But again, just maintaining stage control.
Oh.
Scaring Kort away.
Kort not quite the correct angle on the recovery and finds himself down 2 stocks. And this is what we were alluding to before. Kero, the comeback factor, the clutch factor, his approach to the game, I mean, it really is genius level.
Yeah, and he's one of those players that, like, he's all about just downloading his opponent, right? There's a few times I saw yesterday where he would have either a close match or maybe even lose a match to a player not quite at his skill level, so to speak, but that next game just blowing them away. And it's kind of like that thing where I think some players are better like at their end-game adjustment, and some players are better at their between-game adjustment. Kero just seems to have both.
Nice back air.
Very schlocky right now, just kind of slapping each other back and forth. What an angle. And just waiting out for the lazy approach, knowing he can just nick it with up tilt. Doesn't get much out of it, but slowly just pushing him off stage.
Man, that was a really nice adjustment to an adjustment that we saw from Kero. Kort so akin to approaching with the down airs, tried to go for a pivot back air, but in the time between the pivot and the aerial coming out, you see Kero come in with a down air of his own.
Yeah, he's just, I don't know, so smart with those micro scenarios. And
there we saw a good adjustment from Kero as well, or from Kort, sorry. Seeing that Kero's going for an edge shield scenario, waits it out, and finds himself in a more favorable position. But there, Kort falling susceptible, and will be on his last stock here.
Yeah, Kero took it pretty easy there, just knowing that floating out of back air was pretty safe. And all he needed was 1 hit, and he got the stock. Kort in a pretty bad position here, though.
I'm not sure if that was the eternal bait of baits necessarily.
Yeah.
It actually worked as Kort is trying to regain some favor and control in this matchup.
Yeah, and I would say that, again, but just missing. Just Kero not able to capitalize on Kort's bad positional errors.
And I think that might have been the second missed Z cancel in this game as well. So Kero, you know, a well-oiled machine for most of this game, perhaps starting to rust a bit. Not able to confirm there either, and Kort in a great position to perhaps equalize.
A good defensive up tilt from Kort, knowing that it's one of the quicker options out of tech in place. Waiting out the get-up attack and just grabbing him for the stock. We are in a last stock scenario here.
I've seen this position so many times.
Yeah, and Kort showing just as well as Kero. He can really play with his back to the wall. And Kort without a jump here. Oh, keeping him off stage.
Oh.
And that jab grab, just DIing out of the jab grab.
Huge. Absolutely huge. Kort
really wants this in 3 games. He does not want the set to go any longer than it should.
You know, we categorized him as an aggressive player, but I have to commend him for his patience here, finally finding the opening. Could this be it? Kort
reads the tech in place, somehow still continuing the exchange. Is this going to be it? Not enough.
Back throw. Such a long distance to go. A great grab option! Kero! And like we said, such a cerebral player, knowing that Kort with that positioning would be trying to act out of an edge shield scenario, and instead of going for the attack, goes for the grab and sets up the KO. What a play.
Yeah, there's a few things in that situation. Whenever you get that edge cancel on top plat, you can immediately up B after, jump out after. I'm guessing Kort was opting for hoping that Kero would attack his shield and maybe get a counter hit in. Just not going in his favor. Kero, like you said, all ready for it.
3, 2, 1, go!
The brilliance from Kero.
Yeah.
Starting to shine through in the middle end of this set here.
And keeping his winner's life alive. Just really turning it on at the end of the game after a kind of sloppy mid-game with a few mistakes here and there.
Airtight pressure as well from these platforms. Kero starting to come to life, it seems.
Yeah.
A second win being granted after that win in that last game.
And a couple trades there. I would say they're in Kero's favor, maintaining that center stage and getting a bit of a position advantage.
And Kort now.
A little bit, probably overextending there, I would say.
Yeah, and visibly frustrated as well, it seems.
Yeah.
Feels like he's unable to make the adjustments necessary to adapt to Kero version 2.0 that we're starting to see in this set.
Yeah. You know, I think that sip of coffee is doing a lot for him here.
It was the second sip. You know?
Yeah.
The first one was a hot fix. The second one was a complete patch.
Slightly missing that nair, just pixels away.
And it was clever from Kort, but Kero was just a step ahead.
Yeah.
Not falling for the parlor tricks this time around.
And no jump here. Kero knowing the easy forward smash is going to get him the stock. And now up 4 stocks to 2. We're seeing a way different Kero than we saw in the first 2 games. Oh, and
60% of the time it works every time, but I think this was one of the fell into the realm of the 40s for sure.
Yeah. Oh, and we see what we call the Derek, just jabs on edge there, covering, which really does cover a lot of options against Pikachu.
Oh. Taking advantage of that elongated hurt box a bit there to get that grab. But Kero's still relentless on this chase.
I know. It seems like he just never lets up once he knows he has the pressure going. And dash attack, even though it's an odd option, it does cover that low angle from the up B. Oh man, again just sailing out those back airs, giving Kort very, very little room to move.
Giving them the taunt as well. You can tell Kero, he's feeling comfortable. And you can't really say the same about Kort here.
Yeah, so there, even though the chain grab is guaranteed on Pikachu, you can roll the dice a little bit and try to get a tech read into up smash because it does force a tech whenever you throw a 0 with forward throw against Pikachu.
And if you're Kero right now, you're playing hot.
Yeah.
I'd roll those dice.
Definitely. He's really not much to lose here.
Kort,
and,
closing things out there. Getting back here.
Yeah, still living. It's going to be very hard for him to pull this back, though. Either way, Kort does have a game to play with. And I think no jump here. It's going to be very hard for him to get back.
Yeah. Kero, he's seen that situation too many times to let that one go. So he's going to be forcing a game 5 here.
Yeah. Our first game 5 in top 8.
I mean, it was our first game 4 as well, to be fair.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of firsts here, you know?
A lot of firsts. Definitely not Kero's first sip of coffee, though. I think we're on sip number 3.
Yeah. You know, by the end of the tournament, I think he's going to be working up the double digits.
And just seeing the difference as well from the players. I saw Kort, you know, it felt like the energy was flowing through him, especially whenever we were getting ready to queue into games 2 and 3, you know?
Yeah.
And here, a bit more calm, perhaps just trying to find his center.
And both of them taking a minute, perhaps getting the right music. And Kort just guns a-blazing.
Here we go, game number 5 between Kero and Kort.
Oh, no jump here. And Kort wisely DIing in and up being out of pressure.
Nice.
And something Kero's just incredibly good at is just reacting with grab or jab grab when the opponent is kind of overextending on the chase. Really turns around a lot of situations using that.
Kort making it back on stage here.
And both of them fighting for center stage. Now in Kero's favor.
Finding the chink in the armor, but not getting a whole lot of use, really.
Yeah, and
Seeing
I think
a much more reserved Kort, it feels, in this game.
Yeah, I was about to say he's definitely slowed his roll, kind of taking his time. Oh, and that almost worked. Oh, and great dashes from Kort just to get under that down air. And somehow just turning the position around. Back air. I really like that angle from Kort.
And it's very clear, I think, that both of these players recognize just how heavy this game is. And you can see that in the reserve styles that both are taking. Kort, desperate to slow the tempo down just to try to gain back some of the momentum that Kero has shown in the latter half of this set. But Kero, again, a very decisive first stock. Perhaps an indication of the game to come.
Definitely. And with the likes of Brody and Zero already in losers bracket, both these players, they very much just want to stay in winners.
Nice jab grab.
Great conversion. And that tail from Pikachu, the up air, just covering so much of that side plat, making it very unsafe to jump up there. But Kort still finding a way in. And Kero giving Kort a little bit of room to breathe.
Yeah.
Telling him to come out and play.
And actually punishing that bit of room that he gave.
Yeah.
With that back throw.
All obeyed.
Up smash.
The only thing that would have connected there is Thunder. Not getting much else out of it, but sometimes you do just want to percent, especially in a matchup where back throw is such a, strong kill option.
Oh! Again, Kero.
Perhaps a mistake?
Perhaps.
And Kort really taking his time on the ledge here, trying to sneak his way back in. He's been making that downer work sometimes on side plat, but Kero's option coverage just so good.
He's very patient. And you can see Kort visibly frustrated after a clear missed input there.
Yeah, Kero, he loves just maintaining his space. It almost feels like when he gives the opponent room to breathe, it's almost on purpose to maybe bait them into overextending themselves a bit.
Final stock. Kero, if he takes this stock, will be advancing to winners finals. Kort,
gets him on the chase, and Kero now, catches the jump.
And that's gonna be it. Kero, the clutch factor coming in.
Yeah, down 2 games to 0, and just bringing it